We are back with another episode, and joining me today, Tara Henton. How's it going?
Yeah, really well, thank you, Cody. How about yourself?
I'm not too bad. Like we were talking, I got a little raspy voice, lost it the other day, but it's coming back.
It adds character.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Who knows? Maybe people will like it better. I'm not sure. But for starters, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from.
So I'm originally from Kenora, Ontario. So I'm proud Canadian. I've been living in the UK for about 20 years, and I've just the last sort of 10 years or so been digging back into my songwriting practice, and yeah, I've just literally put out my debut single. So really excited about that.
Perfect. And take us back. How did music come into your life? Is it something you grew up on, or is it something just you fell in love with one day and continued on?
I think I've always music's always sort of been there. I started lessons quite young. I think I showed an aptitude for it quite young, I think. So, my parents diligently kind of did the music lesson thing. A lot of music in my family as well. And a lot of different influences in the house, like in terms of, country. And I mean, my mum was more ABBA and Billy Joel and stuff like that. So I'm quite eclectic, but I do like my country. That's where my heart is. So.
Okay, perfect. How would you describe your sound for someone who maybe has never heard it before?
Authentic, and I think even when I change up the instrumentation and stuff, there's still a core to it that's got kind of an old school country kind of sound and value to it, I think, is kind of where I come from most of the time.
Okay. And talking influences, do you have specific influences for yourself that is towards songwriting only and performing only?
Songwriting wise, my big influences actually are more sort of Americana. I mean, I love Gretchen Peters, Mary Chapin Carpenter, Teresa Berg. There's a whole kind of bunch of them there. But in terms of like the country side of things, I mean, I love a bit of Miranda Lambert. The whole Pistol Annie's thing. I love the whole
Right.
vibe of that. So yeah, I love all country, but I like the stuff that's got kind of that old, it's got a little bit of that kind of old country sound at the core of it, even though it's got a more modern take on it. That's kind of what I
Right.
enjoy. Casey Musgraves, love a lot of her stuff. For the same reason, I just think she's just got such good, not only good writing, but just yeah, there's kind of a little bit of an old school vibe with some of her stuff.
Okay, nice. And then do you have one just for performing? Someone you look up to just for performing?
Like Keith Urban, Brad Paisley, they own the stage
They do.
completely when they're on it, and they're just amazing. Yeah, yeah, and actually Ashley McBride. I love watching her perform. So a little different approach, but she's just got such a presence. So
Yeah, okay, perfect. What would you say has been the best advice you've been given in your career that you still follow till this day?
quite recently, actually, only really within the last year or so, which has led to a lot of what's been going on for me lately, was just basically you are your own worst critic. You are basically the thing that is, you need to get out of your own way, basically. Get out of your own way and things will happen.
Right.
And there we go. It
Perfect.
seems to be working all right so far, so I'm going to keep going with that one, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's chat about your newest single, Now That You're Gone. Tell us about it and how it all came together.
So it was originally inspired. I did a songwriting workshop back in February online with Gretchen Peters and Mary Gaucher. And the whole thing was themed around writing from other perspectives rather than just always like first person me. And so the very first week, they put a challenge to write a song from the perspective of the other in either like a breakup song or a love song. And that was sort of what prompted it for me. I was trying to think of like a breakup situation, not like completely grounded in a personal experience, but probably pieced together from maybe different things with a little bit of fiction in there. But I was writing from the male perspective, which is quite ironic that now I'm the one singing it.
Right.
But that wasn't the plan. It was going to get pitched, but didn't. So
Okay.
that was kind of the whole. So that really, it's a song about regret, hindsight. They say hindsight's 2020. It's so true. It's always easy to see where a relationship's gone wrong when it's not there anymore.
Absolutely.
Then you got a lot of time to think about it, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is available on all platforms.
It is. Yeah, it was released on the 17th of September, so it's everywhere now.
Awesome. Where do you find most of your inspiration from when writing?
Lots of places actually. I mean, personal experience, I think, probably feeds into a lot of it, and then it kind of prompts the storytelling. Movies that I watch, books that I read, going for a walk, and just letting my brain kind of
Wonder.
wander, and
Yeah.
yeah, little lines or little thoughts just kind of come. Sometimes I write more from a chord progression or a melody, though. It's not always lyrically inspired. Yeah, it depends on the day with me. I'm not one of these writers that only writes one, like, this is my method.
Right. Sure.
I tend to, it depends which way the wind's blowing and what I ate for breakfast.
Yep. For
Yeah.
sure. Okay. All right. What's your favorite thing about co-writing?
Just not being alone in that process. And I think I'm quite a bad one for letting my, quote unquote editor in the room a little bit too soon. And I find having a co-writer sometimes helps me to not do that. And also sometimes it helps me to not throw out things that I think are rubbish. And they go, no, that's gold. Like, you got to keep, so it's just having that checkpoint of kind of,
Right.
being able to sort of work out where the heat is, and where the good things are that maybe you can't see. I think that's really useful.
Okay. Perfect. Is there like a weirdest, most awkward moment you've had when writing a song, coming up with a song?
Awkward moment.
Yeah, has there been like just a moment where you're like, that was a strange moment, but that's a song?
Um okay, so okay, this might be a weird moment. So I was in a songwriting club back, this would have been, yeah, possibly the beginning of the pandemic, and the theme that was given this week was pot plant. Because it was meant to be like this, we're stuck in our homes, and having potted plants is kind of like a thing
Right.
to beautify your garden. But my brain didn't go there. My brain went to pot plant, so I actually wrote a song called pot plant. I've been told it's quite funny. I don't have an awful lot of experience with it, but there was a lot of Googling involved. I was waiting for the police to come knock on the door.
Yeah.
Google is your friend when you're trying to write about something that you haven't got a lot of knowledge base in. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever release it, but it was a fun song, and it probably did go a little bit strange. I got
Sure.
some interesting feedback on it, put it that way.
That's awesome. For your single, do we have plans for music video? Anything like that?
No, not at the moment. And to be honest with you, it's more of a budget thing.
Yeah.
It's my debut single, and I hadn't actually intended to release this song. It was all done quite quickly on the back of getting some good feedback on it from a country festival where I performed in a songwriters round. And it went very quickly from a song that I was planning to demo and pitch to a song that I needed to get out there so that I could get the radio play that was being promised me if I had it finished. Yeah, so probably not for this one. I'm hoping for a single in the future to be able to extend my budget to that, because I think that would be really fun. I've
Yeah,
never done a video before. I'd love to do it.
absolutely. Are you playing shows? I don't know how the whole COVID situation is where you are, but
At the moment, it's a little bit. There are shows going on. That being said, I was meant to have a gig at the beginning of October, which just got cancelled. But it wasn't that the venue was closed. It was just that the restrictions that were in place limited the seat sales to the point where they couldn't make it viable. So it's a little back and forth. But I do have a few things in the diary, which I'm quite excited about. Because before the pandemic, my music career was a bit different. I was doing more covers in like line dance clubs and places like that. So
right.
to actually be able to go out and perform my own material is quite exciting to me. I'm really looking forward to being able to make the most of that.
Absolutely. All right. What's next for you?
Well, I've got my second single, Wild Horses, coming out on the 5th of November.
Nice.
So quite looking forward to that. That was supposed to be my first single, but it got bumped, so I'm looking forward to that. That was actually produced in Nashville, so it's got a slightly different sound than my debut. It's a little bit more fleshed out. But I hope that people can still kind of hear the commonality between it, in terms of the authenticness of where I was trying to come from writing it. I'll be very interested to hear people's take on it. And then I'm planning a third single sort of early next year. I'm gonna let the whole Christmas thing kind of happen.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I didn't really want it. It's going to be called Fishing for Your Love. I didn't really want to put out a song about fishing over Christmas. I didn't think it would.
Yeah, that's fair.
It had some sleigh bells in it, might be all
Yeah.
right. But, you know, but we'll see. That could be next year, the Christmas version of it.
Absolutely, yeah. Have you ever thought about putting out Christmas music?
I have actually. I would like to do that. I just think I need to get myself in a place where I can start thinking about that a little earlier in the year.
That's fair.
So maybe this Christmas I'll write them and then, you know, wait a year and put them out the following year, because I find it really hard to get into a Christmas frame of mind in like the middle of the summer.
I know.
Maybe I have to go to Australia and then maybe I'll get the vibe. That's the strange thing about Christmas songs. You have to be so early thinking about them to get them out there. So
Yeah, for sure. All right. Last thing, tell us where we can find you on social media.
So it's Tara Henton Music, or I'll say it in Canadian, Tara Henton Music. I've got a tomato name.
Yeah.
It's Tara Henton Music or Tara Henton Music pretty much everywhere. So please look me up. It'd be really great to have people reach out to me. I'm currently trying to canvass the radio station in my hometown to get them to play my song. I don't think they've played it yet. So we need to start like a hashtag, like, you know, now that you're gone, Kenora, or something, and get it there. So that would be really cool.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we'll go grab our newest single, Now That You're Gone. And Tara, thank you so much for hopping on the call today.
Wow, it's my pleasure. Really nice to meet you.
Yeah, you as well. And yeah, stay in touch.
Okay.
Talk soon. All right.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah.